Hey everyone, this is Eliminati, and I'm from the DBM Game Dev group. And today we're going to do something very simple. Can actually be done within a few minutes. And what we'll do is we're just going to gather and store some of the server data that we have here. So let's go ahead and get started. What we're going to do is we're going to create an action and click on the submenu on top, and what we're going to do, we're going to go to server control, and from server control we're going to go ahead and click on store the server info. And of course, from the server info, that'll allow you to obtain data or information on the bot's hosting server. So, of course, you have your source server, which is your current server, which is pretty much here. If the bot's running within your Discord bot server, that's your current server. You can store the server IDs into temp variables or server variables, as well as global variables. And we're going to select our source server to be our current. And for the source info, as you can see, we have several options that you can select as far as your ID, your name, the server acronym, the server member count, server region, etc. Now what we're going to do is we're going to actually store every single one of these so that you get an idea of what they represent. It should only take a few moments, and we're going to go ahead and start with the server ID, and we're going to save all of these source infos into temporary variables. And we can save it as server ID, create an action. And what we can do is right click on it, click on clone action, double click to edit the action, and we're just going to select the source info, a drop down menu, select the server name, and change the temp variable to name. And again, we're just going to clone, double click. We are going to select the acronym, name acronym, and we can put here acro, and edit action, right click, clone action, and from there we can select the member count, save that as a temp variable, member count, edit action. And for the next moments, we're going to go ahead and just repeat cloning and changing those variables. Okay. And we're going to select the region. Select the URL. And select the verification level. And the next item on our source info is going to be the default keyboard, the server default channel. And shorten it up for default channel. Right click, clone action, edit, go to source info, and the away from keyboard channel. Moving on along, we're gonna select the system channel, select the default roles. Let's push this down here. The next on the item is the owner member. The owner member is pretty much yourself or whoever owns the server that the bot is running on. And as you can see, most of these commands are pretty quick to get done or create. Cloning them definitely saves you a lot of time having to go through one and one and click on store and send message, click on the menu, scroll down, etc. Okay, so we got the bot member up, and we're gonna save that as server bot member. Right click on clone action, and we're gonna select the server channel list. And clone that one. We're almost finished here. You're going to select the role list, and see if we can kind of get in here. And select the member list. And I believe we're down almost to our last info, the emoji list, which is one of my favorites. Okay, so now that we have pretty much all the server data that we want to store in on here, or in this server command, all that's left to do is create a send message. And from here, if you right click and select the insert temp variable, you can see all the temporary variables we created with the store server info action command. So you can see we can just go ahead and put the server ID, still can't type apparently. And going next, we can select the server name. And we can insert the acronym. And from here, we can put the member count. And here we're going to put the server region is in. I'm going to temporary and click region. And here we're going to put icon URL. Right click, insert temp variable, select the server icon URL, and click right click, and the verification level. Give it some room here. And next is the default channel. And moving on to the next one, we're gonna away from keyboard channel. Here, what's next? We have the system channel. And the next thing on the list is the default rows. And the default row is the default row pretty much is everyone. Most of the time, that is the row that will be automatically given to anyone who joins your Discord server. And let's go ahead and finish this up. Next thing is going to be the owner. Excuse me. And we have server owner. Moving to the next, we have the bot member. Channel list. Then we have our row list. Right click and insert temp variable. We have our members list. And finally, we have our emoji list. Now, basically that is all done. Instead of describing what all these information or source server information is or means, we're just going to go ahead and run it. And let's go ahead, save and run, and let's go ahead and type in the prefix and the server. Give it a few moments here for it to go ahead and start. Let's just make sure that it is running. Okay. Most of the time when it is gathering or compiling the data, it will take a few moments for the software to go ahead and start the bot. And just in case if it doesn't, let's go ahead and just save it and run it. This should go ahead and restart the bot shortly. while we wait here, let's go ahead and give it another run. Here we are, finally, and let's go ahead and give this a try. Could just be that my internet connection is kind of dragged. I'm kind of running on a 4G internet service right now. So as you can see, the server ID, let's go through this list here so you can see what their commands are. And starting with the server ID, number one, that's this here, this information here. And of course the server name, the name of your Discord server the bot is running on is this here. And the acronym, Action 3, is here. For us is the Discord dev game, Discord gaming studio. And over here we have the server member count. In my case, we have 2 members. Here we have the server region, and that's this information here. The icon URL. Normally, when you have a custom icon on your server, it would be listed here, the link for that image file. In our case, being that we're using the default, we get a undefined, a null, well, pretty much it doesn't exist, no link for it. And of course, the verification level is 0. And as you can see here, we're moving on to the default channel. And that's another thing I want to bring up, being that should be something that most developers should know. It's a good idea to always try to host your bot on a VPS server. I'm going to run a video on setting up your VPS server to host your bot so that it can stay online 24/7. I will also create another video on showing how to create how to automatically restart your bot for when it fails and your bot tends to shut down. It can be automatically restarted. Now, moving on along, we can see that we have the away from keyboard, which right now that hasn't been set either, so you're going to receive a null. And we have the system channel, which is the pound general channel. That's pretty much like the default channel that everyone will be placed, as well as you get the welcome messages with members entering your Discord server. And okay, so it looks like I basically lost connection here, and it's kind of typical. It's been happening to me a lot lately. But if that is the case, as you can see, this the raw data will be pasted onto our paste bin, and feel free to join our Steam group, which is the Discord Bot Maker Game Dev group, and join us on our Discord community. You can have access to these on video tutorials, as well as regular tutorials, raw data, and access to our paste bin, where you can get most of these data so that you can test or use for yourself or expand upon, or just pretty much review so that you get an idea of how you can go ahead and keep developing within Discord Bot Maker. So thanks again, and thanks for spending a couple of minutes with me, and press that like button. Thanks. Have a good one.